What's up? Alright, has anybody ever heard of the Sator Square? Yeah, me neither. So, basically I was thumbing through YouTube a couple days ago, and, okay, I'm just gonna tell the truth. I saw a hot chick on the thumbnail, and I clicked on it, and it was that hot archaeologist comedian girl from I think she's from Australia or something with the accent. Well, anyway, she's hot, so that's why I clicked on it. But basically, it was about like some scientist who was like opening up these like mini portals or whatever, and it had something to do with the Sator Square, and they thought maybe he figured it out, but in the end, they never really figured it out. So basically, the Sator Square is, let me show you. Maybe you've seen it before, and you don't know what, you might not have known what it was called. See this? This is the Sator Square. Yes, I'm totally low budge, but it works. So, basically this puzzle is like, or this thing was discovered in 79 AD in Pompeii, and all the philosophers and all the scholars and all the people who are somebody have been trying to figure it out for about close to 2,000 years, and nobody's been figured it out yet. Everybody's been trying to like translate it in Latin, but where they have a bump in the road is basically the word arepo has no meaning in Latin. So they're figuring maybe it was like a proper name for somebody. But basically, this square, or different forms of it, have been seen throughout the globe. The Sator Square is these 5 words, and it could be written forward, backwards, diagonally, horizontally, and it always comes out to being the same word. And so sometimes you see like the square will be inverted or upside down, where it says the word rotas is at the top, or in some of them the S's are turned backwards. So nobody's been able to figure out one, basically cracking the translation of it and figuring out what it does. So after a while, they started attributing it to like a mystic and magical powers and stuff like that. You know, all that folklore crap. But I think I fucking figured it out. And it has to do with the 2020 movie Tenet. And it's going to sound super crazy, but it has to do with time travel. I think the Sator Square is a communication tool to let time travelers communicate between each other and give them a path to follow. So, where I think they were going wrong is they've been trying to translate it in Latin the whole time, and the squares have been shown up for 2,000 years all over the globe. So I decided to go to my little handy tool called Google Translate and start typing in the words, but in different languages. And then when you start doing that, like the different meanings or whatever start being able to form actual sentences that make sense, that actually are attributed to time travel. So basically, the reason why I kind of got to that point was in the original video that I saw of her. I guess the scientist guy was making these like opening up these little mini portals and then being able to like put like an object in on one side and then it come out whole on the other side. Thinking of the movie in 2020, the gist of the movie was two CIA agents who are time travelers, and they jump back, or inverted jump on the timeline to go backwards to a battle, and they go back to that battle so they could fix the outcome of that battle, so that way it changes the future. My thought process, or my theory, is that one, it's a communication tool for the time travelers, but two, part of the encryption of it is that the words are all different languages. So that way you had to know all of the languages in order to be able to crack the code or understand what message was being left. And because when you're going all over the globe, you might be in Italy, wherever, Spain, wherever you're going to land, it might have a different language. So they used part of that to their advantage, so that way people wouldn't be able to crack it, that you would have to know all of the languages in order to read the message. But here's the kicker. The physical geography of where the square is written or discovered makes it key for everything, and I'll explain how. But let me give you my translation and see what you think. Like, what my interpretation is, the Sator Square is a message that's left behind by time travelers, indicating their status and their location across different timelines. Here's a breakdown of my translations. So, Sator. In Basque, Sator represents a mole or an agent, or then an initiating agent or contact person. A repo in Javanese is a question or a statement of location. So it could be translated as "where are you?" or "where you are," giving your location of your whereabouts. Tenet in Basque means "I have," and in Latin it means "holds." So it's a statement of possession in both languages. Opera in Portuguese can refer to the operational details or the instructions. And rotas in Portuguese means the routes or paths to follow. And in Latin it means wheels. So basically, when you look at those different definitions and attribute it to time travel and piece it together, the puzzle or the message that's being left by the time travelers can read out as: "Agent, where are you? I have the operational details. Follow the routes." Or, "Agent, I'm here. I have the details. Follow my path." So basically, they're leaving a message for their counterpart about where they are. And the reason why I say physical geography of the square where it's found is key, because that tells them, if, for example, if you find a square in Geneva and the square is either written forward or it's written backwards, in the movie Tenet, they jump the same timeline. So basically, they only jump the timeline of Geneva. And so if my counterpart finds the square in Geneva, he knows that's where I went time traveling. And then here's the kicker. the way the square is written, meaning forward, or the backwards S's, or inverted, that's how he's telling them which way he went, to follow my path. So when it's written forward, that means he's in Geneva and he jumped forward in time. If the square is written upside down, or the S's are backwards, that means he's in Geneva and he jumped backwards in time. Because in the movie, they call it, when they go backwards in time, they call it inverted jumping. So if the square is inverted, with the rotas at the top, and the S's are backwards, that means they're inverting and jumping backwards in time. Get it? So, I think it's a communication tool for time travelers. Even though that sounds crazy, I think that's the real deal of it. I mean, say I'm crazy, but I don't know. It all works out. The movie's about two CIA agents that time travel. The little portal things that the scientists opened up, where they shoved it through a portal, time travel, and the nuances of it are their version of encryption, because if they have it written in multiple languages, and just like the 2,000, like the people who've been trying to do it for 2,000 years, they never were able to figure it out because they were only trying to translate it in Latin. And that proves my case even more. By it being written in different languages, and you understand all of those languages, you can crack the encryption of the message and understand or you have the code, basically, to the puzzle, in order for you to be able to understand where it's guiding you to go. So, yeah, I think that's it. I think it's time travel. The Sator Square is not about magic. It's not about the mystical bullshit. It's all about time travel. And time travelers leaving messages for each other around the world in an encrypted way that they know where to find them, because they're telling them to either jump forward or backwards in time on this specific timeline in this city or country. So that's where you know where to find them. And instead of just jumping back in time and then like roaming the globe, instead the physical geographical location of where the square is at is telling them, hey, I'm here. I just went forward or backwards in time. That's it, dude. That's it.